What's up, channel viewers? Welcome to another video. So yeah, I just went to see Predator Badlands and got back from that, and I wanted to let it marinate in my brain for half a day at least, so we could make a video and talk about it. I went and saw it in 4DX. We're going to talk about all this stuff today. I actually managed to snag one of the mother, I don't know what you call it, the Predator ship. We're actually going to do a project with this. I had a brain idea in my brain that I want to do with this. But we're going to talk about all that today. I'm going to paint a little bit and just, run my mouth a little bit about certain things. But yeah, so I just got out of the movie. While I talk about the movie and kind of give a review, some of my review thoughts, I'm going to be painting on a project that I need to have done here in a little bit. But I did want to point out that we're going to be doing some cool stuff too, and we'll circle back to it towards the end of the video. So just first off, what we're going to be doing with this, just while I'm talking about this, showing you, is I got this popcorn bucket. I'm like, oh, it's cool. And it's really badass. Like, I am actually impressed with this, what I got out of it, because it's got some pretty good dry brushing and things like that. And I'm like, needs a little sprucing up. And it's like, what's the one thing that I feel like this really is like holding it down? It's this figure. Like, it's way out of scale for one thing. I mean, you know what? They tried, okay? And I'm keeping the figure. I'll do something fun with it. But I realized, like, hey, wait a minute, Logan, you run a store with minis that are literally the perfect scale for the ship. So I'm right now in the process of printing a little miniature deck. I'm going to print and paint a little mini deck. And I was like, oh, there's the first thing it needs. I'm like, oh, you could paint some accents on here too. And my brain just kept going, right? I'm like, oh, you could plant some LEDs in this too. And my brain kept going. The inside of it opens up. You could literally put a ship interior in here. So I think I'm going to do all that. So obviously it's not going to be done today, but we're working on it a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to take this Predator Badlands popcorn bucket and turn it into like a little like game piece. I'm literally going to make Quay's ship real. I don't know if I'm going to do it 100% to movie, because some challenges I'm going to run into. Or right now, the movie's only been in theaters for a couple of days, trying to find the appropriate set design pieces I'm going to need for that, if I decide to go that route. As well as things like trying to find Harvester skulls from Independence Day, the trophy wall. I have probably the other skulls that would work perfectly fine. I'm going to have trouble sourcing some pieces. I guess I could try to sculpt, but just some initial thoughts of what I want to do here. I'm on the cusp of a really cool project. So yeah, we're going to circle back to that. But yeah, some just initial things for the movie. First off, very happy with the movie. This is a movie that I have waited basically 30 years for. What I ended up getting out of this. It's not perfect. I have some thoughts. That's what I needed to kind of marinate of, like, what I didn't absolutely love about it. But overall, just insanely awesome. Not for everybody, but like if you were that fan that grew up with like the movies as a little kid, and then you found the books and shit, and it's like you've been waiting for good movies, and then you got that god awful 2018 Predator movie, and you just wanted a movie that was like the comic books. All 12 of us out there, we finally got our movie. If you are a Predator fanatic and you've been kind of keeping up with this stuff, Marvel's been doing a run of Predator comics that I have been very happy with. Very much not Marvelifying. They don't pull punches. Very good stuff. Really, it all feels like it fits together in the same narrative. But that's what the video is going to be about today. So the next little section, I'm going to be working on painting a statue. We've got some cool stuff to talk about with that, but I'm going to be painting a statue. When I break down the movie, this is not going to be spoiler free. So, if you don't want spoilers, probably don't watch this yet. So that's what we're going to do when we do this. And I'm going to be painting, and let's talk about that movie I just saw. So yeah, anyway, so like I was just saying a few seconds ago, just went and saw Predator Badlands, and there's a lot to talk about here. So, yeah, like bottom line on this movie is I was extremely happy with what I got out of it. They announced this movie, and it was one of those things of, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you get like really excited, but you don't want to let yourself get like overexcited kind of thing. Because I'm like, damn, this has a lot of potential promise. And they're like, okay, we're going to tell a story from the Predator's point of view. And, as someone who's been reading the comics and shit forever, I'm like, finally, like, this is what I've wanted since I was like, 12 or 13. So it's like, wow, we may actually get this. But it's like, hold your breath kind of thing. Like, don't get too excited or whatever. Because, it could be a total shit fest. But like so far at that point, Dan Trachtenberg had been 2 for 2 on quality Predator movies, in my opinion. So I'm like, this very well has a chance to not be a piece of shit. And, but, still I was like just holding my excitement on all that stuff. Per usual, as the internet does, there's been a lot of bitching and stupidity online. And I really don't want to give it any more of a like screen time than they already have had, because essentially I don't know if it's like bots or losers or just a combination of multiple things, and it really goes way further than Predator. There's just been a thing it's always been around, but for several years it just seems to be cranked way up. It's like people who show up and it's just like they just brigade every post and they're just like wham, just like talking shit about it. And it's very obvious from like reading the comments for me that they just really didn't understand the franchise at all. And this movie's not for them, and it isn't like required. Like, I'm not a person that's like, you have to know all the things. You know what? Fine. Like, if this movie is not for everybody, and if it's not for you, don't fucking watch it, man. Like, go back and watch the original Predator or whichever Predators you like. But, like, there gets to be a point in the franchise where it's like, you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again, or then you turn into, like, Friday the 13th. So, you kind of have to branch out, period. But this is not some, like, crazy branching out and doing something that's just completely out of left field, because, again, it's been in the franchise for decades. Y'all just weren't privy to it. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you on that. But, yeah, it's been a thing in the books and shit for a while. And now we finally get that. But yeah, if you want the same movie over and over again, just go watch the other movies. Like, we got several of those. Like, we got the original Predator. We got a slight rehash in Predator 2, where they just took the theme and twisted and put it in a city environment versus a jungle. Shit, you basically got an entire rehash in Predators, which, side conversation, but I really feel like it has grown on me over the years. And then, they got the franchise to Dan, and Dan Trachtenberg made Prey. And Dan made the safe movie first. Like, what the fuck do you want? He made a movie that was the same basic story with a nice twist of it, enough of a twist where he's not just making the same shit over and over again. So he made the safe movie to prove a point. That's how I feel about it. And then, it's like, okay, he proved the point. Now he gets to branch out. And he did some really wild shit with The Killer of Killers, where he jumped between time periods. Another thing that we've really wanted that's been in the books. I feel pretty safe to say Dan's probably, if not aware, probably very likely a huge fan of the franchise overall, because it just really feels like this is the content of a dude who has been reading the books, who has been into all the stuff. Because it's too close to not be just aware of what all is out there that the people who are bitching online are not aware of. And then it was basically confirmed for me like a couple days ago. Again, I told you this was not a spoiler-free video. At the beginning of Badlands, there is a set of statues on Yelch to Prime, and they're fucking Amengi statues. And that is a deep cut of lore that's from the back of an action figure box. Like, this dude is taking the shit seriously, which I would have been, totally understanding if, like, they're not going to make that canon. But, like, dude's obviously aware of all the stuff. The Amengi, if you didn't know, were in the Predator lore, like, way back, millennia ago or whatever. They found the Predator being all primitive, and they were using them in gladiator entertainment, and then the Predators beat their asses and took their technology, and that's what they are today. But yeah, we got that big of a deep cut in the movie, and I'm like, holy shit, and he personally acknowledged, like, that's an Amengi statue. So yeah, way to go, Dan, on that. But, like, I still want to talk about some things that it's like I feel like there's criticism aimed towards without really giving them any more of a voice than they've already forced upon us. Because, like, they show up in the comment section and they're just like, stop. First it was like, wah, woke DEI or whatever, and it's like, dude, you know how fucking stupid that is? It's a Predator movie. It's about, like, hunting and murdering and killing, and you're calling that woke, whatever. You're a fucking idiot. But, like, the other thing, it's like they were sitting there. There's a lot of complaint about, like, the Predator got beaten by a girl in Prey. And it's like, if you guys didn't pay attention to the franchise from the original movie, Arnold did not beat the Predator arm wrestling. He beat it with smarts, And then the other criticism that had been around since, like, forever is, like, if the Predator's so badass, how come he always, like, loses? And then Dane was like, I'm going to make a movie where the Predator wins. And, it's still fucking whining. So at this point, it's just like, if you feel how you want to feel, Like, and I respect that. Like, if it's not for you, I respect that. Like, if you're gonna be a little bitch on the internet, I'm gonna make fun of you. But if it's not for you, that's fine. Don't go see it. Just rewatch the old movies. Like, they hold up, man. We don't need a like, that's the thing. It's like we don't even need a reboot of like Predator or Predator 2. Like, those are still gold, man. They're just fun as when they came out. Just rewatch those old movies. That's fine, you know. But like, if you're gonna keep making movies and you want to try to do something, like, do something different. And that's what we're getting here. And like I told you, I'm not going to say this movie was perfect because I had some feelings about it. So first off, I want to talk about, this was the first time I had ever seen any movie in what's called 4DX. This is a new thing to me because like when I went and looked for tickets, I saw there was this 4DX thing. And essentially, it's going to see a movie in 3D, but then also the chairs move. And also they do stuff like when there's smoke on the screen, they like will pump smoke out of the front of the theater. Or if it rains, there's like a little water that can spray, like little, not like you get soaked or nothing, but like that kind of shit. And then like the chairs move like a ride at Universal, like the whole time. And that is for better or for worse. Probably be mindful of your wardrobe choices because you could end up with like a huge wedgie getting launched around in your seat, man. I liked it, but I would say I would not go see these. I would say only like maybe 5% of movies would I go see in 4DX. As a comparison to the tone of the movie, I would actually say like a movie like Mad Max Fury Road would be great in 4DX, but like don't go see every movie in it. It's a lot. It's intense, and like be prepared for like sense overload because man, it was crazy. I liked it. It was cool as hell, and I feel like I liked watching the movie that way too. It just kind of punched it up even further. But yeah, 4DX is cool. So yeah, the movie. Let's talk about the movie itself. Just some initial thoughts I had on it, and it's like, it's funny how much sometimes I'll go see a movie and then it's like I have to make some kind of corrections of like, this is where I think things are going to happen and this is how it actually was. And things like, for example, people have been boohooing about the movie being PG-13, but they say specifically, like when you look at the thing, it's like, how does the rating system work is that it's only R-rated if the blood is red. There's no humans in this movie. If you think because the Predator movie is PG-13 that it's not going to be violent, I would not take children to this movie. It is extremely violent. There is no toning down of that. However, it is definitely taking the franchise in a way different direction, at least for this one story. Yes, it is totally taking it from horror to sci-fi. And if that is not what you want, this is not the movie for you. It was the movie for me. It's what I wanted. I wanted more lore. I wanted more kind of space opera-y shit. There was humor in it too. And like, that sounds like a kiss of death to a lot of the fans. And like, honestly, no, like it didn't make the movie less intense. So, but like I said, it wasn't perfect. The thing with that is specifically like in the movie, again, a little bit of spoilers and stuff. Like he meets up with a cut in half synth, and it's like she does kind of do comic relief, like she makes jokes occasionally, which is actually fine to an extent. But I really feel like in the movie she could have just shut the fuck up a little bit. Like it's pretty great overall. But there were a couple times when it's like, can you please shut the fuck up? But the funny thing about that though is like I kind of feel like even though it was like that, like the Predator deck, he is also like, can you please shut the fuck up? Like he's getting annoyed with her. So it's like it kind of felt cathartic that he was being annoyed with her, being annoyed. I feel like if you wanted to get the movie better, I would probably dial back on the goofy shit a little bit. But like the thing that people really thought was going to be the kiss of death for this movie is whenever NECA released first looks for their action figures for this movie, you saw there was a little cutesy animal, and holy shit, everybody lost their minds. And hey, for good reason, okay? It's owned by Disney. Disney, I would be very suspicious about a goofy animal being put into a Disney thing. In my feelings coming out of this movie, that was not a problem. The goofy little creature was also extremely violent. I would actually say some of the funny stuff was some of the creature, because the creature is very much like an animal that like imprints. So like Deck finds the creature and it imprints on Deck, and it's like kind of copying Deck the way like a little baby animal would its mother kind of thing, and it's cute, but it's not like a ruin the movie because again, like I said, the little creature is like ripping arms off and ripping heads off. I mean, like again, I don't feel like that was an issue in the film. The creature was pretty cool. Again, and I said I had some predictions that I turned out to be right. I had a prediction early on that the little creature, and I don't know what they officially call him. They were calling him Bud when they were first showing him. I had a feeling that it was a baby of the big monster in the movie. Yeah, it was. Sorry, I warned you there were spoilers here, which was pretty gnarly because like you do actually get to see the creature get bigger and stuff and be more closer to the big bad of the movie, the Kalisk. Yeah, and the Kalisk itself is just a really cool monster. It's exactly what I, as a Predator fan, wanted as a monster in this movie. That shit was gnarly. It's just basically this creature that can regenerate, and is almost impossible to kill. Yeah, overall, like I said, the movie, to me, the closest thing I would compare it to tone-wise is Mad Max Fury Road. If you like Mad Max Fury Road, I highly recommend you go see this movie, because that's the vibe. It's just fucking unrelenting, because, like, basically, it's the story of this predator who has to earn his worth and stuff. So in order to do so, and I'm trying to not just touch every plot point, but in order to prove himself, he has to go to the Death Planet where everything's trying to kill him. And everything's trying to kill him. Like, the grass is like razor blades, and there are vines in the trees that will eat you. It's like it's like Pandora meets Jumanji, the board game from hell. It's insane. It's such a cool thing to get to see, like a Death Planet, like he had to deal with. But yeah, it was just nonstop. Everything's trying to kill him the whole time. Plants that like shoot darts that paralyze you and shit, and it was just fucking crazy. So if you're worried about it being like dull or tame, you're not getting that. If you think this is a movie you can take your kids to, I mean, maybe if they're like younger teenagers, and it depends. I can't really say shit, man, because like I saw the original Predator movies when I was, I don't know, 6 or 7, which was way inappropriate, but like, I turned out okay. But this is not a movie for kids, and most parents would not want their kids seeing stuff that I saw at an early age. So like, there's all that, But yeah, dude, I was very happy with this movie. A lot of setup for stuff that sounds like they're going to be doing down the road too. Some things that I noticed too, and it's not like officially confirmed or nothing yet, but like you'll see whenever he like returns home after his successful hunt, as you'll see plays out, he gets back and his dad's there, the Predator dad Njor, or whatever the hell you say his name is. And then you see like there are like guards that are with him at his little house thing, and they're almost exactly the same guards that were at the end of Killer of Killers on the Optimus Prime planet. I don't know if they're the exact same clan, but it's obviously touching on, they're connected somehow. So I'm going to be curious to see if there's a sequel to Badlands, if we're going to connect those threads. It really feels like, and I mean, I'm not saying it's another review said it, but it does feel like they're really connecting threads, like not in this movie, but down the road. And I don't want to talk about a lot of stuff that the other reviews talk about too anyway. Like a lot of reviews talk about how, yes, Weyland-Yutani is in it. No, there's not a xenomorph in it. It's not an Alien Predator movie. But they're obviously tying the universes together, probably for down the road. There probably will be xenomorphs in future Predator movies. Very cool. But yeah, man, like I'm very happy. Like I don't want to like sit here and give it a rating because it's so fresh. I just saw it. But like if I had to guess and like trying to factor in newness bias, excitement bias, I still feel like it's going to be like an 8 out of 10 for me. My first initial feelings when I saw Deck from the reveals and stuff is like, I don't know, he looks like kind of a dorky Predator. And again, I don't want to touch what every other review said where it's like, it's because he's a runt. Well, no shit. But like when I watched the movie, I really like Deck now. He's really badass. Like he has character development. Like that's why they had to do the movie this way. It's like he has some serious character development going from very young and inexperienced to a complete badass. I still feel like at this point, I was actually milling this over in the last week. I feel like at this point now, my favorite Predators ever, other than like the Lost Tribe from Predator 2, that's always going to be like the tip top for me. But like after that, probably the Samurai Predator from Killer of Killers, which was Dan's like last movie months ago. But Deck's pretty high up there now. He becomes badass. I want to see him like grow into more of like an adult Predator and shit, and I'm sure he'll continue to be more badass. Like now he has his cloak at the end of the movie. He didn't have his cloak through the movie. So I'm going to be curious to see if he gets more cool gadgets. Also, something I'm noticing with this movie as like a Predator nerd is like the cultural shit that they're putting in that, and that's the big thing that you're getting out of this movie. You're getting a lot of like the Predator culture stuff. That's what you have to sacrifice and make a sci-fi movie to get, and you get that. And it seems like with this clan, there's a lot of like trophies on the armor itself, because like Dex dad, Najor, his mask has like these little like tendril things on the front of it that I don't really love the look of it, but I realize I'm pretty sure it's one of the creatures from the Death Planet. Its mouth is like on the mouth of his mask. And again, spoilery, but Tech makes himself a new helmet out of like part of the bone of this like bison thing that he hunts on there. So there's a lot of like, and then I think I saw, if I remember correctly, I think I saw Dex dad's ship have like a big skull, which ties to Killer of Killers, because the clan in Killer of Killers has like the gladiator shit. All their stuff is like bone based. The Grendel King, the leader, he has like all bone armor and stuff. And then tying back to Prey, the Predator in Prey had a skull for a helmet. So I don't know if this is all the same clan, and that's just what Dan's telling the story about this little clan and their own little doings, or how it's all going to tie together. But you see that kind of motif continue in this that we got in the other ones. So that's fucking cool. But yeah, I want to see what more he get. Maybe he's going to get more trophies and get more cool armor upgrades and shit, which I'm going to guess it will probably happen. I'm hoping it will. That's fucking cool. So, yeah, I'm very hopeful for the franchise. You know, we got this movie, so there's my kind of overall thoughts of the movie. So, again, like, if you want the same movie over and over again, you probably don't see it, I guess, or maybe wait for streaming or something. But if you're down for something new, if you like shit like Mad Max, it's like an intense, nonstop kind of thrill ride that's more sci-fi than horror, absolutely go see this. If you were like one of us few nerds that are like Predator fanatics, this is the movie for you. Like that is I feel that this movie was made for us. The cool thing is too, and I'm glad I waited till this morning, is like this is the biggest opening weekend for a Predator movie ever. So they are actually financially doing good with this, so we can keep getting more stuff like this. So yeah, it's not just like yes, is it for the nerds? It's for us. You know, and actually, touching on another, there was another reviewer that was like, this movie is not for those Predator nerds, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you're a Predator nerd and you've only seen, like, the movies, okay, that may not be for you. But if you're a Predator nerd that's the movies and comics and the extended universe, this is for you. So, there's kind of my overall thoughts on that. So, yeah, it's going to be sick as hell for me, in my opinion. So, anyway, so that's what's inspiring me to do the next project that I started the video out with. I'm going to actually try to make Quay's ship, because the ship in the movie is Deck's brother. Hold on, you're going to have to move with me. No, I don't. My paint strip's right here. The ship that he has is his brother's ship, and that's what I have that little popcorn bucket from. And I think I had a light bulb moment last night. I think I'm going to try to make it like literally the ship as close as possible and see what I can pull off. I've never done LEDs. So we're going to learn with that. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but, you know, if you don't try new stuff, you're never going to get any better at your craft. So right now I'm in the process of painting this Guyver Zero diorama, as I've been yakking with you here. That's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm trying to get a peach color, and I guess we're going to need orange for that, aren't we? There's other probably imminent news here in the near future for my shop. If you're a fan of me doing this as a business, you'll be very excited. I don't want to like really lay it out yet until it's happened. I'm in talks right now for something that will hopefully like really help my side income with this stuff that I do. I'll keep you posted as I go, and this is part of that. What I do want to, I guess, say is what you will see content-wise out of me in the near future is a lot more of these bigger pieces. So I am a licensed reseller of Papsicles that does Predator and Guyver and all that stuff. And what you'll be seeing from me in particular, especially if this goes through, is this bigger scale. I like to reprint these in much larger scale, make basically statues. It's more for something for display for your little nerd nook or whatever. That's what I'm in the process of making here. Ooh, maybe some pink. We'll get me some peach out of there. Christ, I'm like having to make sure all these colors together. Just like a tiny bit though. But yeah, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to finish this piece today. I don't know. Fate will smile on me and I get this bad boy done today, but we're going to try to, because I've got a meeting with somebody in about an hour and a half. Going to run my stuff up to their place and chat. So I'm going to keep working on this, and I don't want to make like an hour-long video about just this stuff, but that was all the things I wanted to talk about in my video. So yeah, So I'll finish making this. I started to kind of do more content with this, but like I was having, basically I want to make a start to finish on this particular piece here, but I was having some issues with the camera doing some stuff to where it was like not uploading right. So I'm missing some things, which is why I'm ultimately not going to do a start to finish on this. I might do another video on this piece in particular. I don't know. I doubt it. There will be posts on like Instagram and shit if you follow my other socials, but I will be doing other pieces like this. Probably the next one I'll be doing is a enzyme big piece. I already have it printed, ready to rock. I'm going to try for one of these next bigger pieces. I want to have a start to finish. I had issues uploading to YouTube, I believe, because I was running out of storage space on my phone. It was kind of my problem. But we've resolved. I literally cleared 100 gigs off my phone, so we should be good for this video now. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for dropping in here. To be continued. And until next time.